Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please?
Covering both sides of the big issues with the analysis you trust on News Radio 1040 WHO.
All right, every time I'm traveling, planes are packed. Seems like the travel industry, the airlines are doing extremely well. So shocking news that American Airlines is planning to cut over 650 customer service positions. What is going on? My next guest is in the Keynote Speaker Hall of Fame as well as the Customer Experience Hall of Fame, and his latest book is called 100 Proven Ways to Acquire and Keep Clients for Life. Richard Weylman is on the Davison Family Dentistry Newsmaker line. And Richard, man, from what I see that's going on in the travel industry, this is counterintuitive. What do you think is going on in the industry?
You're absolutely right. It's going backwards, Jeff. If we look at what people really want today, the last thing we want to do is to have less interaction on the human side. Now, that's not to say AI is a bad thing, because that's where Americans says they're going. They're going to get rid of all these people, and we're going to put in a machine. Well, AI is really good. I mean, I've been working in AI for several years in the experience sector, and we know that it can smooth out operations, remove friction, all of that. But what it can't replace is the humanization that people want. And we proved that with chatbots. People don't like chatbots because if you don't type it exactly right, you don't get the answer you're looking for. And we get online, and when we spend all of our time on the phone, Jeff, going, representative, trying to get somebody to answer the phone. So they're really going, American has really made a terrible decision strategically, given what people want today.
Well,
you're exactly right.
Boy, you nailed it, Richard. I mean, it's so frustrating. So trying to see this from American Airlines perspective, what are they going for, Richard? Do they think AI will be better at solving a customer's problem that a human will be? What are they thinking?
Well, I'll tell you exactly what they're. Boy, what a wonderful question. Okay, let's look at two contrasts. Look at Delta Airlines. Okay, Delta Airlines, record revenue, record ridership, record profits.
Yeah.
Okay, great. What are they doing? Everything they can to elevate the, we'll call it, customer experience.
Yeah.
If your flight is late, I just flew to Atlanta. My flight with the connection was really tight. 4 of us got off the plane. There was a guy standing there with a sign, right this way, please, with our names on it, down to a Porsche SUV, raced us across the airport to make our connection. Wow, that was a wow experience. Now look at the opposite. You look at what Americans' focus is on. The way we're going to do this is we're going to continue to stay focused on the transaction and not on the customer. We're going to be transaction oriented, and what we're going to try to do is smooth out our transactions, cut our costs on the transactions, so we can increase our profitability, which is the exact opposite of what the consumer is looking for. Consumers do not want to be treated as an account or a transaction. They wanted to be treated as an individual. Personalization and humanization is winning the business. That's the difference. Richard
Weylman with me, 100 Proven Ways to Acquire and Keep Clients for Life is his latest book on the Need to Know with Jeff Angelo program across the WHO radio network. So, Richard, what is amazing to me about the American Airlines strategy is I think when I look at retail today, a lot of retailers are understanding that it's the customer experience that keeps us from going online, that we really like, that we want to come back, retains us as customers. And how is American Airlines or other industries not recognizing them? Is it just this relentless focus on the bottom line, and they're not thinking about what actually is leading business to success?
That's exactly, you nailed it. That's exactly what they're focused on. They're focused on, we'll call it, counting the beans as opposed to counting the, shall we say, elevated experience they can deliver. And they think that a satisfied customer is fine. We got lots of satisfied customers. Well, I got bad news for them. Satisfied customers are loyalty neutral. Given an opportunity for a better experience, they're going somewhere else. I'll give you a classic example. I talked to a CEO in November. They're in the financial business, and they do satisfaction scoring of all their customers. So we had a long conversation. He said, boy, our satisfaction scores are the best they've ever been. I said, remember, satisfaction scores, you're asking people to comment on what happened in the past. You need to be focused on what's going to happen in the future and give them a better experience. Anyway, he called me 2 weeks ago. They lost 13,000 customers last year. How much for being satisfied? If you're satisfied, you're not delighted. Every single individual, I don't care if you're running an air conditioning business, a hairdressing salon, whatever you're running, what you need to focus on, how can you keep customers for life? Because the lifetime value of a customer is remarkable when you look at it. And the way to do it is you've got to give them an experience where people are delighted advocates, not just satisfied with the service they're getting or the product they're getting. And that's the mistake that some of these companies are making. They're focused on the transaction and not on the people. And that's the difference.
Although what is encouraging by this story, Richard, is that CEO called you up and said, oh, I messed up. And that's what I hope for somebody like an American Airlines. Can companies at some point realize they've messed up and repair the damage that's been done?
Exactly right. And I'll tell you exactly what I do. He said, what can I do? I said, well, stop asking people how it went and ask them how it can go. Ask everybody, every business ought to ask their customers at least once a year. Even if you're cutting their hair, if you're doing, what are 2 things or 3 things we can do to elevate your experience with our operation? And the customers are going to give you direct feedback. And when they do, you can elevate their experience. Or if somebody comes, let's say you're in the bank and somebody comes in and they want to move their account to you. We always ask, well, why did you move here? Well, because that's not the question you want to ask. I don't want to know why they came here. I want to know why they left there. Because if I can know why they left there, I can make sure we never make that same mistake and lose them again. So that's the difference in the way you think. And I'll just give you one last example. Freddy Steak Burger and Custard, had the privilege of working with them, and great steak burgers, great custard, not a huge chain, but very, very successful. And they've always delivered great steak burgers, but now they deliver great steak burgers with genuine hospitality. And all of their staff has been taught, always have genuine hospitality, smile, please, my pleasure, thank you, etc. Long story short, they just won the National Restaurant Award as the best fast casual in the United States. They beat everybody, Smashburger, Culver's, everybody. Why? Because people go back there on a repeat basis on almost 2x everybody else. Why? The burgers are great, but what's really great is the experience they have.
That is great commentary today, reacting to what I thought was a shocking news report that American Airlines is cutting customer service positions. Richard Weylman says, yep, that's a mistake. His latest book is called 100 Proven Ways to Acquire and Keep Clients for Life. Richard, thanks very much for joining me.